morning. It is Monday, day 141 of the challenge, and to be honest, not been the best weekend. Had that car smash on Friday. Basically, somebody drove into the back of me at around about, well, somewhere between 30 and 40 miles an hour. Didn't seem to brake, didn't seem to see me, and as a result, I was thrown forward, came back, smashed my head. So I've had headaches all weekend, just feeling a bit groggy, not clear thinking, and really tired. So yeah, not been the best weekend, but hey ho, life throws you a curveball every now and again, and you just got to try and get on with it. I just showed up on screen as I was doing my morning market analysis this morning, and it was tough getting up this morning. I noticed this advert pop up on IG's webpage where I do my client sentiment indicator analysis, and just interesting what is being presented to traders who perhaps are new to the marketplace. You know, the broker will help you with your buy and sell signals. The broker wants you to win. Well, is that true? Who knows? Who knows? But you have to be very careful of this stuff. And it was a reminder to me that actually the only way to trade is to have your own strategy, your own system, and basically to try and ignore everything else. Try to ignore the news, protect yourself from the news, schedule news, but try and avoid the news, because a lot of the news is kind of fake or temporary. And what I'm looking to do with my strategy is to focus on what I focus on and shut out the noise, and try to always trade with the trend in the direction of the marketplace, direction of the respective market that I'm currently in. And that's really what it's all about. So yeah, today, day 141, no intraday signals at all. I entered a SIG1 short on pound Australian dollar. I'll show that in a moment. But first I thought I'd flash up the car accident from Friday. I have a front dash cam and a rear dash cam. So I'll put up the front dash cam first. You'll see me shunted into the car in front, and then I'll put up the rear dash cam so you can see the impact. I'm not quite sure why I'm sharing this on this channel. Just thought I might do that. It's kind of on my mind because my head is still hurting. So I'll show those, then I'll come back to the charts and show you that SIG1 trade that I entered this morning. So there you have it. Only takes a minute, and I'm a big advocate of having a dash cam, thankfully front and back. So if you don't have one, I'd highly recommend one. You can't be too safe, but you might just be sorry if you don't have such a thing in place. No arguments now with the insurers, because I've got the evidence. So yeah, I guess if there's a positive to take from this, it is that. So let's look at that Australian dollar SIG1, not Australian dollar, pound Australian dollar. Told you my head was all over the place today. Pound Australian dollar SIG1 short. Just before I do that, the news overnight is about a China-US trade deal, phase 2. I think that's what has pushed bids into Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, basically the risk on currencies. So that's probably something to do with it. So I'll have a quick look at the news now, and then I'll talk through that SIG1 short. So here's the news in Forex Factory. Where are we? US-China to seal phase 1 of trade deal. US Treasury Secretary, there will be a phase 2 China trade talk. So yeah, good news. I don't trade the news, but when the news goes in my favor and the market reacts in line with the news, then you know my job is just to stick with it and take advantage. So here's that SIG 1 short. You see the Z candle there on the weekly. I shorted this pair before off the 3-year high. I think from memory made a little bit of money, but then got stopped out. You know, the last week's closed below the 3-year high. Didn't quite get to the 3-year high this time, and tested and closed below the 1.9000 level, which I think is significant. So signal showed up, Z signal at the 3-year high. In fact, it did test the 3-year high, I beg your pardon, on a Z candle. So I shorted this morning at just after 6 a.m. Slightly worse price than I could have got if I'd have entered last night, but I would have got a worse spread if I'd have entered at 10 o'clock last night. But this trade is now in profit and could head, well, all the way down here. We'll wait and see, but that's that trade that I'm in this morning. In terms of Australian dollar exposure, well, I have 3 long Australian dollar positions, but you'll see the first one is now fully protected. My maximum exposure in any currency pair is 2. So that's fine, because one of those trades, that long trade at the top, is protected. Yeah, Australian dollar seems to be to the bids at the moment, but only time will tell. So what day is it? Really struggling to remember what day it is today. Monday afternoon, and not quite how I expected the day to pan out. I'm at the hospital after the car accident on Friday. I had some quite bad headaches all weekend, and phoned the doctor again. I went to the doctor on Friday, phoned the doctors today, and they said you should go down to A&E. So it turns out I've got a concussive something or other. Basically means I've got concussion. Could have that for the next couple of weeks. Just takes time to heal. So yeah, kind of wasn't where I planned to be today. It's one of the reasons you have stop losses on your positions always, because you never know quite what's going to happen. Yeah, been quite quick in and out of A&E, and now just waiting to get picked up to head home, and yeah, we'll check the charts then and see where we are. But yeah, interesting day. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, day 142. It's around about 5 to 11. Been out this morning to the new house that we're having built, to meet the council, to talk about the water and mud on the road. What a nightmare, but hey ho, you've got to go through the pain to get the pleasure. In terms of that, very applicable to trading. You've got to go through the pain to get the profit, and you've got to sit through trades sometimes that, you know, ebb and flow, don't quite go your way, and that's very much the story of the 2 intraday trades that I'm currently in, short US dollar Swiss franc and long Australian dollar Japanese yen. And I was just reviewing last week's video, week 28, which you can see on the STG Forex TV YouTube channel. And if you're watching this video, you're on the YouTube channel. So please think about liking, commenting, or subscribing, or all 3 would it be even better. Yeah, just watching last week's video, and you know, both of those trades were in a position where the market had gone in my favor, then had gone against me, and I was facing you know, a non-booked loss in both of those trades. Both of those trades now look to be in profit. Australian dollar Japanese yen is well in profit. US dollar Swiss franc is just coming back through my entry, and looks, as I'm looking now to my right, looks to be resuming the downward trend on the daily chart. All the signals, the SMA signals, simple moving average signals, are pointing south. The IG sentiment index is pointing south. So I felt it was only a matter of time before the trend got back on track, but as always, only time will tell. Yeah, nothing much to do today in terms of the charts. I've got no signals that are looking to crystallize today, so it's just a case of monitoring those 2 positions. and being patient and waiting for them to unfold. Well, it's Wednesday evening, around about 8:05, and can't quite believe the day has got away from me. I was up very early this morning market analysis. My Australian dollar, Japanese yen long, US dollar, Swiss franc short are progressing well. Those are my two intraday trades. Been here, there and everywhere today. Not really got a chance to check in with the charts very much, but they seem to be taking care of themselves. It's about time to be thinking about reclining, relaxing, or whatever else for the evening. So I'm going to sign off, and I'll be back tomorrow to see where the market has moved to by then. Well, good morning. It's Thursday morning, just after 6. Real struggle to get up this morning. I was probably up and down a couple of times in the night. Not sleeping that great at the moment. The morning routine is quite an interesting one. I set my iWatch to go off at 5:45, and the idea is that that's on the charge until I get up in the night, perhaps to go to the toilet. Then I stick it on my wrist, and the idea is that if I stick it on my wrist, it's not going to wake my wife up. Her ears are much better than mine, and if it's on the charger, she tends to hear it before me and shout me, and she's not very happy. So I need to get it on my wrist at some point in the night, and then the alarm goes off at 5:45. Invariably, I fall back to sleep, having turned it off, and then usually I wake back up around about 6. Sometimes I've hit the snooze button, sometimes I've just turned it off. It depends what I hit and how tired I am. But this morning a little bit late, 6:15, 6 a.m. close has happened. Usually takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to do the morning market analysis, so running a bit behind time, but still time to have some breakfast and make that all important coffee. So it is Thursday, around about 2:10, and about 50 minutes ago, the first target was hit on my US dollar, Swiss franc short. Swiss franc has really been on a tear across all pairs. Bids into Swiss franc. Don't know how long this is going to last. Will the Swiss National Bank intervene as a result of this strength? Who knows? But it's helped my short reach its initial target. Interestingly, just glancing there at my screen, there's now bids off pretty much the exact spot where I took half of the position off. So there's a retracement in play. That's fine. I've moved my stop to entry now, trail my stop to entry. So whatever happens now, this is a winning trade. And it's a similar story on Australian dollar, Japanese yen. We're not quite at target yet. But we're not far off, and I'll throw that on the screen in a second. But it is always nice to book some profit. This is the first bit of profit I booked for this week, and it seems that Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar is making somewhat of a comeback, which is also helping my Sig 1 trades, which is good news. So here's that Australian dollar, Japanese yen trade, moving slightly sideways now, but gradually tracking up towards the initial target, which is slightly above the consolidation level to the left. In good shape on this trade. This was my first backbone strategy trade. Basically bought off the simple moving average, 200 simple moving average, trailing and mirroring the rising daily trend line. Well, good morning. It's Friday morning, around about 7:15. Just on the morning market analysis, there's pretty much nothing to do today, which is quite good because I'm out at a networking lunch. Missed last Friday's networking lunch because of the car accident, so one this week. So looking forward to getting out of the house and going to that. Quick update on the intraday trades. Australian dollar, Japanese yen is now progressing towards target, and US dollar, Swiss franc hit target yesterday. So I'm just I rolled a stop to entry yesterday and just holding to see how far that can fall. But in the meantime, I've got myself two special guests in the office this morning who have decided they're going to work with me and not play in their bedrooms. Morning, boys. What are you doing?
Playing more TT Rockstars.
Look at your little office in my office. You haven't got much room, have you?
I do.
You ready for school?
No.
Ready for your birthday, Charlie?
Yes.
Good. Thought you might be. So here's that Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Long. Had some consolidation yesterday, but now looks to be progressing up to the target. Slightly above the consolidation level to the left. But I think given all the signals that I am using and digesting, I think there's every chance that we're going to get there. So suited and boot and just booted, I should say. There we go. And just arrived in town for the networking lunch. When the car crash, got given a performance car, Panamera GTS, which just showed on screen, which is a very nice drive. It's not quite the Merc E63 S in terms of power, about 450 brake horsepower, so still pretty powerful, but doesn't quite compare to the 600 plus of the Merc. But yeah, nice ride into town. It's raining outside, pretty depressing weather as usual, but yeah, busy morning this morning coaching, and now after the lunch, checked in the markets just before I disappeared, and there was some pressure on my Australian dollar Japanese yen position. But just going to try and forget about things now. Nothing I can do. Stop losses in place and see what's happened later.
Like where you I like everything about it.
We've got the lovely pen card. I will not read this out because hopefully you do not need to know who this lovely gentleman is. So he will be joining us later. Ken also will be sitting down, if that's okay.
Yes, I've had a back operation, sorry, it's not. And as I've just said once or twice in conversation, if people think I must be partly consumed with the problem of retirement.
I like everything
So Saturday morning, the 18th of January, and it's Charlie's birthday tomorrow. Where are you, Charlie? Charlie's birthday tomorrow, so we're off to a kids' party, Nerf gun party this morning, which is going to be absolute chaos.
Charlie, stop me.
Stop. I know it's your birthday, but you're just annoying people. Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Happy birthday to myself.
So here we have the calm before the Nerf storm. Sam, how's the party? How's the party? Great. Let's see you then.
Three cheers for Charlie! Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip!
like where you I like everything.
So 8 years ago today, this little boy was born, and this is what he looks like now. Happy birthday, Charlie. Happy to you. Happy birthday to you.
No, that's when you're born. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth.
You've always known Daddy and Lexi.
We bought you a new iPad case because it's a bit tatty, and a screen cover for it because you've messed it up a bit.
Is that okay? Right, it might be some new headphones.
Yeah, I think it's new headphones.
Yeah. She didn't say that it would. She said it definitely.
What is it? Look at the top.
Read it.
Look at the top. No, the top. Look at the read at the side.
Look there. iPad mini. So it's a new iPad.
Brand new iPad.
Oh, yay! I'll have to log in all again and all that.
Well, no, you won't. I will.
I know my login though for it.
Maxie, where are you? Get in the car. No, you get in. Go on. So happy birthday, Charlie. How old are you today? And where are we this morning? What hour? Early hour. Yeah, and how early have we had to get out of bed to come?
Really?
Yeah, exactly. Happy birthday, dear Charlie. Happy birthday to you. Happy 8th. Wow, come on. Oh. All those germs on the cake. Lovely. Hooray. So Sunday night, around about 8:15. It's been a busy weekend with birthday boy. Party yesterday and yeah, celebration today, a little bit at home, ice skating and all of that good stuff. So finally found some time late on to do the weekly market analysis. What that tells me about last week is that the Swiss franc was strong, probably the strongest currency last week, and in terms of the other pairs, it was kind of, or other currencies, it was kind of up and down. So with no clear direction if I look at the weekly charts, which I've done this evening. So I have 4 Sig 1 trades in play. All of those are kind of stagnating a little bit, not much change from last week. And I guess the news since the last update on the charts is that my US dollar Swiss franc intraday short has now been stopped out, and I'm just going to show that on screen now. That's really the only thing that's happened this week. Yeah, not much to report, but let's take a quick look at that now. So US dollar Swiss franc, basically what happened here, traded down, hit my target, the pink line, took off half the position, roll my stop to entry, and then price reversed and stopped me out. So made some money on this trade, not as much as I would have hoped to have made, but made some money nonetheless. The interesting thing, and the thing for me to watch moving forward, is the price action looks now to be reversing back down towards my initial target. It looks like it's holding below the 50 simple moving average, and my trailing stop was rolled inside the 50 simple moving average. And this is always a bit of a dilemma I have when managing a profitable position, and something I need to keep my eye on moving forward. But yeah, that was a profitable trade. The other intraday trade that I still have in play is Australian dollar, Japanese yen long. That took a little bit of heat towards the back end of last week. So I'll be interested to see how the market opens at 10 o'clock tonight and what that means for next week's trading activity.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.